So what we're making today is called peanut butter cornflake bars. I like to just abbreviate it to peanut butter bars. So you use plain cornflakes, unfrosted, no sugar added or anything. So basically that's the bulk of it. And you get some sugar and you get some peanut butter and a little bit of honey and a little bit of corn syrup, and you basically just melt it all together essentially and mix it up and then throw it into a flat pan. And that's what I'm going to show you in the next slide. Okay, so this container here is 8 cups, and the recipe calls for 8 cups of dry cornflakes. So then once I have all the sugar and all the peanut butter melted in the big pan, then I'm going to mix this in and stir it all together and then flatten it out into the flat pan. And there's no baking or anything, you just let it cool and it's done. Okay, so I'm turning on the stove here. We already have the 1.5 cups of sugar and about 1/8 of a cup of honey. Just gonna start warming it up and mixing it up and just letting everything melt. And we're gonna put in the corn syrup right now.
This is approximately 3/4 of a cup of corn syrup.
All right, so we're just gonna let this melt for a couple of minutes and stir everything up. So the trick with this recipe is that it's melting the sugar like you're candy making, but we don't want it to be completely candified. We don't want it to be overheated so that it makes it hard, like hard candy, and makes it hard to chew. And it can also be underdone to where it's not really sticking the bars together. So essentially we're just waiting for it to come up to temperature to where it's just starting to boil. So you can see it's already boiling around the corners or the edges of the pan. But once it's boiling in the middle here, then I know it's ready. Okay, so the sugar is just about boiling to the point to where I like it. So if I just stop stirring, that's basically to a full boil. This is where I like to put in the peanut butter. So my assistant will add the peanut butter now, and I will let it boil for just 30 more seconds. And I'm actually going to turn it all the way down now. And incorporate these two together. So I turned it all the way down so we're not overcooking the sugar and turning it hard. And I'm just gonna let this incorporate for just a second here. And then once I feel that's ready, I'm gonna dump the cornflakes in and shut the heat off in just a couple of seconds here. That's pretty good. That's pretty much it. Heat is now off, and just toss it and turn it and get all the cornflakes completely covered. And then once that's satisfactorily covered, just flatten it out in the pan, which will be on the next slide. So everything's all incorporated and evenly coated now. Just gonna go straight over to the pan. So I'm gonna flatten everything out, scrape out the bottom of the pan, and basically just flatten it out like making Rice Krispies. Just one even layer, no baking, just let it cool, and that's it. Okay, so once you're done licking the spoon, everything's flattened out. Usually just do about 2-inch squares while it's still hot. Otherwise it gets kind of hard to cut. And these are one of those treats where it's super addictive and you just want to keep eating it and eating it and eating it. And I highly recommend making this because it's awesome. And it's sweet and it's sugary and it's got the protein and it's awesome. So there you go. Peanut butter cornflake bars. What are you waiting for? Get your own peanut butter cornflake bars.